Hi students, Miss Thomas here again. So happy to see you. Now, just a recap of last class. We spoke about we're doing physical resources or natural resources as you know it. You know it is classified into two classifications. That is natural resources, renewable resources and non-renewable resources. Right? Remember that? So now we're going to go into proper and improper practices of natural resources. This is a pretty long lesson, we, and I'm going to keep it under 15 minutes, but this is just to use to supplement your study. So we will be going through certain points pretty quickly, but I know that you will be going into your texts and doing your research to help you broaden your understanding of these topics. So now we're going to speak about land as a resource, and remember that is a renewable resource. The land is the source of our agricultural resources, forests, and minerals. Land in the Caribbean is predominantly used for subsistence farming, commercial farming, for the development of housing, for other social amenities, industrial estates, hotel construction, green areas, parks, shopping plazas, and commercial estates. Some of the agricultural products produced in our land in the Caribbean are sugarcane, citrus fruits, rice, coconut, and ground provision. You could find these in Belize. In Dominica, you could find bananas, citrus, coconuts, and ground provisions. In Barbados, sugarcane and ground provisions. In Grenada, the Spice Island, you can find banana, cocoa, of course, spices. Some of the spices, one of the most famous spice that you know is nutmeg and cinnamon. And of course, we get a lot of our ground provisions from St. Vincent. We get arrowroot as well. Jamaica produces sugarcane, bananas, citrus fruits, coffee, spices, cocoa, and ground provision. Guyana produces rice, ground provision, and sugarcane. A lot of these products are plants or crops, as we would say. We produce similar kinds because we have similar weather and climate in the Caribbean. Agriculture contributes significantly to the economic and social well-being of the region. Agriculture is important to the development of the region. It can increase income, employment, and of course, nutrition. Agriculture plays an important role in the region's economic growth. So even though we have land as a resource, land can be abused by bad farming practices and other activities such as building highways, airports, commercial housing, and industrial estates. Usually and this is done usually on good agricultural land. And this is what we will call land abuse. Now we'll go on to forest as a resource. So we just did land, now we're going on to forest as a resource. Forests, the natural vegetation covering of land, which has enough moisture, suitable temperatures for the growth of trees. We have dense forest areas in Guyana, Belize, and our northern range in Trinidad. And of course, we have the famous Blue Mountain Range in Jamaica. Some benefits of forests are it prevents or reduces flooding and landslides. It indirectly maintains soil fertility for agriculture. As you well know, it provides material for construction, your desks and furniture, your beds, homes. We use the timber for construction of homes and of course for household use. It provides income through harvesting and transporting wood, sawmilling, making woodcraft and handicrafts. One of the most important use of the forest is that it absorbs carbon dioxide gas. It's carbon dioxide gas which is released during the burning of fossil and organic fuel. This reduces the amount of greenhouse gases we have in our atmosphere, which helps to decrease global warming. Forests also help regulate global climatic conditions. Now we'll go on to water as a resource, one of our most important resources, one that we should preserve and conserve as far as possible and not waste. Water is the source of life. Life as we know it cannot exist without water. Can you exist without water? No, you cannot. Access to clean, safe water is the human right and an indicator of the level of development of a country. Water is one of the most abundant resources, and it plays a vital role in the development of the human resource. As you may be aware, there are some persons, there are some countries where people have no access to clean water, or they have to travel very long distances to get access to clean water. So please be thankful for the water that you have and use it responsibly. The water cycle, this is something I won't go into deeply, but I know that you would have done this somewhere in Form 1 or Form 2, in geography even, and in science. So the water cycle, of course, is the continuous process by which water evaporates from lakes and oceans, and of course, you know it condenses and returns to the earth as precipitation. And precipitation is rainfall or snow or hail. Once it's coming down from the sky after being evaporated, it is called precipitation. That's a nice word. Precipitation. Some of the uses of water, you know some of the uses of water. You use water every day for drinking and bathing, washing, cooking, irrigation, planting, watering of your plants, transportation, because you know boats have to travel on water and the sea. Cruise ships do, cargo ships as well. It's a cooling agent. It's a sewage treatment and it's used for food processing. There are many other uses for water, as you well know, but when in your reading, you will come upon those. So now we're going to talk about pollution. Pollution can be defined as the introduction of pollutants into the environment. Pollutants contaminate the environment and affect the health of the population. It affects you and it affects me. Pollutants are harmful substances such as solid, liquid, and gaseous waste which are introduced into the environment by human beings. It's not done by animals. It's not done by aliens. It's done by us, human beings. So when we fling our plastic bottle outside or fling your box outside after you finish eat, the alien didn't do it. We did it. And of course, there are consequences for actions like that. Pollutants can be biodegradable. That means they can be broken down by normal biological process. So if you throw a banana skin out, that will be a biodegradable pollutant. And then non-biodegradable pollutants, like if you throw a styrofoam cup out of your of your of your car, or you just litter plastic bottles into the sea, you go on your sea outing or your river limes and you leave these non-biodegradable products there, they stay and pollute the environment, pollute the land and water courses. Of course, there are different types of pollution. You have land pollution, water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, many different types of pollution that, of course, you will come across in your reading. I wonder if you knew that there was such a thing as noise pollution. Noise pollution can be defined as unwanted sound, and it is a form of pollution. Yes, you know your ears should only be able to hear or should only be able to tolerate a certain level of noise. Anything above that will prove harmful to you. You may not think so, but in the long run, it would if you are exposed to too much noise. And of course, some effects of water pollution are the destruction of aquatic life, which is either poisoned by toxic waste, chemical plants, burning of plastics. Some effects of water pollution is it affects the livelihood of fishermen. So the fish that we love to eat, we won't get it if the sea is constantly being polluted. And remember, it's not done by aliens. It's done by us when we pollute or throw rubbish into the water courses. We need to stop that. Please do your part to end pollution in any form. Water pollution, air pollution. We need to stop it. Sustainable development and conservation. As I said, we're going through quickly because I want to stay within time. This is what sustainable development is. It aims to improve standard of living and quality of life. It aims to do so over an extended period. So not just you benefiting from having our resources, future generations will also benefit from having clean resources available to them. Good conservation practices is the use of natural resources which can allow continuing productivity. Conservation aims to protect the environment and promote the sustainable use of resources. However, as you know, because we spoke about this in the last class, renewable or natural resources can be damaged through overuse or misuse or improper use. That's a lot of word use in that sentence. So what we should be doing is trying to always have a clean environment. There are certain things that the government can do. There are certain things that you can do to maintain a clean environment. Government can develop and enforce regulations requiring businesses and households to dispose of waste properly and prevent uncontrolled dumping to empty lots, water courses, and other areas. And the government have provided, through your regional cooperation, provided garbage collection, weekly garbage collection. Can you imagine life with your garbage not being collected for about a month or more? Life will be unbearable. Government can provide facilities for recycling paper, plastics, glass, and other materials. The government can educate the public and businesses about the need for pollution control and proper waste disposal. Businesses can dispose of their waste safely, respectfully, and within the regulations of government specifications. You can reuse packaging where possible. You can ensure that you don't dump solid waste into our water courses. You can make sure that when you go to your beach or river line that you leave the area clean. You only leave footprints, as they say. But make sure you take up all your litter and all your waste products. Okay, so now that's the end of physical resources. I want you to check out the video before, which would explain the classification of resources. And of course, today's video spoke about the uses of it, proper uses and improper uses of our physical or natural resources. So that would conclude physical resources. This is according to CSEC. So I would wish you adieu, and I will see you next time. Bye.